All right, let's go to Jerry, Detroit, Michigan, the great WJR country. Go right ahead, sir.
Hello, Mark. Great to talk to you.
Thank you.
I was calling, basically I work for a large package delivery company, and over the last couple of weeks I've dropped off a lot of the free government phones. Most people refer to them as Obama phones. And
all right, now wait a minute. Wait. We are delivering these phones to people?
Yes. And
they don't even have to go somewhere to get them? We're shipping them to them?
And they're shipping them out ship or release, which means they don't require a signature. So
you don't know who's getting the phones once you put it at the doorstep.
Well, correct. But, right. Yeah, I got to leave it at the doorstep. But the people that I did make contact with at home, which was about a third of what I delivered, said that no such person lived at that address. And I had 5 that were addressed to a vacant apartment building. And then the other day I delivered 6 large overnight boxes to one address in the city where a gentleman took delivery of it, and there were basically 600 phones in those boxes.
This is a massive fraud, isn't it, sir?
That's what I thought in the course of doing it, yeah. I mean, I kind of felt a little sick delivering this stuff, but, the shipper has paid us to do that. And
where exactly are these phones coming from? Is the government paying the manufacturer to ship these phones?
Yeah, it was a company in Texas is where they were coming from.
And you're delivering them to buildings where people don't exist? You're delivering them to
I was delivering them to buildings. They were good addresses, good apartment numbers, but when I would knock on the door and the person would answer, the name was wrong. I mean, they were just kind of almost like at random, just sending them out to addresses. And
this was happening a lot?
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't the only driver. I mean, it was, most of us that were in the city experienced that.
Are you delivering these phones every day, or is there like a big push going on right now?
No, it was one big shipment that came in on one day a couple weeks ago, and then last week there was one day with just a little bit of residual. It wasn't every day. It was like some big shipment that came through.
Now, what the hell are we doing giving phones to anybody? Screw that. That's my attitude.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the only reason I mentioned it is because I was watching Fox News yesterday morning, and I guess Claire McCaskill out of Missouri got solicited for one of those phones. So it made the news.
Did she take one?
Well, no, but I mean, I think she was a little surprised to get it. I mean, I'm sure she's well compensated and doesn't.
Yeah, she is, and she's utterly useless. She won't do anything to stop it. She's a lib.
Yeah, I know, but I was surprised that it was her that actually mentioned it. But,
this is just what infuriates me. So we, the law-abiding, tax-paying citizens of this country, we go to an airport, we're inconvenienced because the president and the mob that is this administration is intentionally trying to screw with us. Meanwhile, it's raining cell phones in this country.
Well, yeah, and they said the program in 2008 cost, I think they said $820 million, and
yeah, now it's
$2.2 billion last year. They said.
Yeah, $2.2 billion.
Yeah, and
for free cell phones.
Free cell phones. Yeah, I guess there was an idea too. They reported that they were supposedly talking about giving people free internet too.
Sure, why not? Let me put it to you this way. Free food stamps, free condoms, free cell phones, free heat in the winter, free air conditioning in the summer. Not only that, the more kids you have and the less you do, we're going to pay you tax credits. That's a new phrase, tax credits in this context. So we'll give you money just because you are and just because you do. So this is a great country, and not only that, if you're plotting terrorist attacks against us, by all means, we'll put you on our welfare system.
Yes. Well, like I said, it just makes you sick to see the waste and the fraud going on, especially when you personally experience it.
Yeah. Well, Jerry, thanks for the report. I appreciate it, man. There's a guy, a delivery man, drives a delivery truck. I'm guessing for one of the big ones, and he's delivering cell phones by the gross the last few days. One house got a box of 600 of them. Let me ask you, Mr. Producer, do you think 600 people live in that house? I'll bet there's an entire underground economy where these phones are being sold from one person to the other, just like there's an underground economy in food stamps, believe it or not. There's an underground economy on Social Security cards. There's a massive fraud that is perpetrated against we the people, and then they just keep coming back, and we're supposed to pay more taxes, and we don't do enough. I mean, I don't know how long law-abiding, productive Americans are going to put up with this. I just don't. Then they pass Obamacare. These very same people getting cell phones now are going to have free, expansive health care at our expense when our policy costs go up. Or if your employer drops you, you're going to be put in a government-run exchange program. What is that, Mark? We don't know. Nobody knows. Congress is weaseling around in the shadows trying to cover their asses to take care of themselves and their families and their staffers. We are certainly a tolerant people. We are a tolerant people. I don't know how long we're going to put up with this BS. We're being ripped off. We're being tormented. We're being pushed around. We're being sabotaged, obstructed. Then we have to hear from pseudo-conservatives about how this is the way forward. Stop talking about the Constitution and individual liberty because we're the extremists. And what is it? This Barney Frank said something. Is that on the audio here? Where is that? What did he say? Let me find the damn thing. I got so much stuff I've been wanting to get to, and I'm not going to get to even a fraction of it. But basically, here's Barney Frank, the Washington Examiner, Joel Gerke. Barney Frank, responding to Al-Qaeda's criticism of his sexual orientation in the latest issue of their magazine, compared the terrorist organization to the Tea Party and cracked that the two groups are aligned with each other against gay marriage. This kind of crap we have to put up with in here. This stupid fat slob, Barney Frank, who should have been thrown out of Congress in the 1970s for his unethical behavior, for his obstructions. I'm not even talking about his sexual preferences and all that. I'm talking about his unethical behavior. There he is, comparing the Tea Party to Al-Qaeda. Now think about that. Al-Qaeda, which killed 3,000 Americans. Al-Qaeda, which has killed our military personnel overseas. Al-Qaeda, which still would love nothing more than to somehow launch a nuke in the middle of one of our cities, just like the Tea Party. Why? Because there are people out there who don't believe in same-sex marriage. So you must be just like Al-Qaeda. This is the kind of sick crap we have to hear from the left. Meanwhile, Frank Luntz and Jennifer Rubin and the other losers, who do they attack? Me, among others? Why? Well, because you just won't give an inch on these principles, You don't understand. The Constitution's living and breathing, meaning it's dead. Embrace the New Deal. Embrace it. Embrace Obamacare. We can't get rid of it. And do it in hushed tones. Shh. Sit down. Be quiet. It's inevitable. Deal with it. Live with it. Oh, okay. And then call it conservatism.